Oh my god. I was logged in before.
So Zach says, not much can drag me away from my annual Happy Days Marathon. The Handelabra Sentinels of the Multiverse stream is one of the things that can. I'm going to retweet that because that's awesome. I'm very excited. Thank you, Zach. Welcome, one and all. So Silverleaf, I was literally just commenting to John. I was saying, Silverleaf tweeted that she was going to be here, but I don't see her yet. And then boom, you said, don't worry, I'm here. It's almost like you could hear me. I see you. I am
logged in.
There you go.
Maybe. So I wasn't saying anything. That would be why.
And you can hear 150 people chewing on candy. Popcorn. I'm always a popcorn. I do the popcorn first, and then I take a break in the middle of the popcorn, then I eat my candy, and then when the candy's gone, I finish my popcorn. That is proper movie snacking etiquette. At least as far as
Brittany
I'm
likes to get popcorn and everything. I don't really ever want anything. So, like, if she has stuff, I'll have it, but I never
I don't know that I can go to a movie in the movie theater without popcorn. Which is asinine, because, I mean, like, the amount of money it costs them to make a large popcorn that they charge, like, $6 for is literally pennies.
Like, I mean, if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't be in business. So.
No, I agree. And that's, I mean, look, I buy it every time I go. But it is it's a racket. But theaters, I'll tell you what the real racket is the way that theaters get treated by the distribution companies. But I don't want to get off on a rant here, but never mind. We're not going to talk about that. So welcome, everybody, to the Handelabra live stream of Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Go multiplayer.
Multiplayer. As you all know...
I don't even know what that means.
As you all know, the goal of these streams is to show you how to play the game and cover some strategy that can help you win. As we are the developers, you can also be sure to get some insight into our process, as well as maybe even see some stuff before anybody else does. The game includes a tutorial that covers the basics, but we always do our best to explain exactly what we're doing when we do it and why. And depending on how long it takes for us to win or lose, we may play more than one full game in a session. However, I don't think we're going to play more than one game in this session this evening. Last week, for those of you who were with us last week, it was A, the longest live stream we've ever done, and B, possibly the most epic. I think there was one other that might have pushed it out as being slightly more epic way back when. But man, our match against Voss,
Advanced Voss was epic. If you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely head over to either the Twitch highlights page or the YouTube page. You can get to them all from handelabra.com/stream. But yeah, that's one of the record books there. It was a huge come from behind victory. It was like something like 53 minutes into the game before we did our first damage to Grand Warlord Voss. Okay, and it wasn't even us, it was the environment.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we do expect sessions to last about an hour and a half. It might be shorter tonight since we absolutely are only playing one game. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iPad, Android tablets, as well as PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam. And you can get the game, the soundtrack, and any other fun, interesting Sentinels stuff at sentinelsdigital.com. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yes,
the best thing about multiplayer is that I can hear the music now, too.
Yes. Yeah, so we showed you some multiplayer last week, and John has been diligently working on it. One of the reasons, actually, why our match last week was so epic was because we had not yet implemented multiplayer undo. So there was a couple times where we fat-fingered something or didn't quite make the right decision before we decided to do it. And so we played something, and we had no ability to back up and redo. That has been fixed, so that's awesome. But we may or may not need it. Anyway, I'm going to
We'll see how well we play.
We'll see. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the room. I'm going to hit quick play here. So right now there's going to be... We were actually just working on the UI for this today. We're doing some internal testing about it. It's all very basic. We said this last week, but we'll say it again. What you see here is sort of absolute pre-alpha, first run, first look. So we are completely aware of how not pretty lots of bits and pieces are. They are.
You should put a
update your overlay thing to say like pre-alpha, blah blah blah, something like that.
I should.
Does not represent final product, blah blah blah.
Yeah, totally. But you know what? Before we get too deep into this, I did want to mention one thing. If you guys follow our Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, you probably did see that we, and by we I mean me, I am going to be in Atlanta next weekend. Not this coming weekend, not Memorial Day weekend in the U.S., but the following weekend. So I believe it's the 28th through the 31st. And that is for a show called MomoCon, which is a sort of general gaming geek culture convention in Atlanta, Georgia. They do board gaming, card gaming, video gaming, as well as lots of cosplay. There's a laser tag room, comic book stuff, signing, artists, geek culture people. Should be a lot of fun. But we, as I'm going to be the only person there, we are looking for volunteers to help me run the booth, since I will be there by myself. And a couple of the days are actually 11 hours long, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I need some help, because those are very long days for me. If you're interested in helping us out, go to handelabra.com and find the Atlanta post, which is talking about calling all Sentinels. So yes, that's all I have to say about that. Free pass to MomoCon if you are selected to be a volunteer. All right, so tonight, we're only going to show off one new thing tonight, was one of the things that John and I discussed, because we did show off a ton of new stuff last week, and frankly, we don't want to run out of new stuff to show you before we are actually going to release. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to show off the other new hero. Last week you got a chance to take a look at Night Mist, so tonight we're going to show you the Argent Adept. Now, the Argent Adept, or Argent Adept, depending on how you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, is a really interesting unique character. And the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to play him and John is going to coach me, because I'm still learning how to play the Argent Adept. We figured that was a good way to learn this character, because he has some really, really unique mechanics. Although some can be very unique.
He is
unique is just unique.
The first Complexity 3 character since Absolute Zero. The first... Well, Night Mist is too.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Who should we play against tonight? Let's look at the numbers and see who we haven't played against the most. Looks like we've only played against the Matriarch once, so I guess we could do that.
The Matriarch.
Let's do the Matriarch. That's a good one.
We went through the Rook City villains as like Rook City previews, but we haven't we haven't had a lot of time since Rook City to just have them as normal villains.
Cool. All right, so we will do.
Have we played around advanced?
The Night Mist is, let's see, Night Mist is a Complexity 3, yep. As is Argent Adept.
And Absolute Zero.
Absolute Zero.
Have we played the Matriarch on advanced on the stream?
Let's take a look. So advanced, we've got cohort... cohort cards are indestructible.
Pretty rough, but not
I don't like
impossible.
And then on her flip side...
You don't have to play it.
Let's see. I mean, we can give it a shot. On our flip side, we've got increased damage dealt to hero targets by 1. Oy, yikes. Yeah, so...
It's all about bird management.
Yeah, bird management. All right, so let's see. So who else do we want to see hero-wise? I'm going to do Argent Adept. We're going to do the same thing where we do 2 and 2. Oh, see, they're not even paying attention. They're trying to guess what the variants are.
You know they do that.
Oh, look at us. We can see there's a variant banner on the screen, so now we know exactly what they're going to do.
All right.
You don't know. You don't know, guys.
You don't know. I'm going to choose... We're going to do some power shenanigans. So I'm going to choose...
I like it.
Greatest Legacy.
All right. Well, in that case, then let's do Super Scientific Tachyon. Let's just completely mess with everything.
Let's do the heroes that let other people do things.
So what's a Visionary? Or maybe...
Well, she doesn't...
Oops. That's not what I meant to do.
They don't really have those aspects to them right now. Yeah, I get the other hero.
Yeah, I was just trying to drag and I accidentally clicked.
I'm going to take Fnatic, though we've played Fnatic a lot, but I like Fnatic. Because we might get a Embolden, more powers. And what's the environment we want to play in?
Ooh, yes. So let's see here. Not Rook City. Excuse me. Let's see. All right. So Insula Primalis 5 times, Megalopolis 3 times, Ruins of Atlantis 6 times, Mars Base 3 times, Silver Gulch 4 times. And then Pike Industrial 3 times. So I would say Megalopolis, Mars Base, or Pike Industrial, I think, are probably the 3 choices tonight.
Birds on Mars.
Birds on Mars. I like it. Wagner.
I think we did Birds in Atlantis with Adam, I think.
That sounds...
And he drew a picture of it.
Yes, that sounds right. All right, so here it is. So we are going to be doing Advanced Matriarch versus a team of America's Greatest Legacy, the Argent Adept, Fanatic, Super Scientific Tachyon, as well as in the environment, of Wagner Mars Base. I'm going to ready up, and here we go. Hear my song of pain and sorrow. All must know the might of Corvus.
The actions you take become your own legacy. Stand proud.
Onward.
That's my best American voice.
Gotta be American. All right, let's do our usual run through here. So it looks like Legacy has got Flying Smash, Heroic Interception, Inspiring Presence, and Legacy Ring. So
what a great start.
Yeah, he's pretty well set up there. We've got Argent Adept. So I'm gonna actually double click these cards so you guys can see them because I want to start talking about what is different about this character right away. So you'll notice that Argent Adept has a lot of these ongoing cards that have like ongoing / harmony, ongoing / melody. He also has ongoing / rhythms. And what these cards have, so melodies have perform, these perform text, and then harmonies and rhythm have a perform and an accompany. And for those who don't know, and I believe I saw that Jean-Marc, our maestro, is in the room. This is because he's a musician. And what he does is he performs and he accompanies using his various instruments. Now, I don't have any instruments yet, but basically various instruments will allow him to do certain things like either play 2 different performs on melody cards or play a perform on a rhythm and an accompany on a harmony. And so it's a really sort of... This is why he's Complexity 3, because you can be doing a lot of things in any given turn. So he's got a Sadistic Dissonant, which is a harmony card. So you see he's got a perform and an accompany. He's got Instrumental Conjuration, so this will allow me to get an instrument into play.
That card has a picture of all the instruments.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, so we got the lyra, drum, the bell, horn. All right, then we've got Sarabande.
I don't know.
Of Destruction. This is a melody, which only have performs, no accompanies. And then Scherzo of Frost and Flame, which is another melody. All right, so that's what's going on with Argent.
So those are referred to as songs generally.
Yes, right.
Songs and instruments.
Songs and instruments.
So, and his base power is to vocalize activated perform text.
Yeah.
So he can sing any song without any instrument in play.
Right.
And yes, people are commenting on the artwork. That is the artwork for the Argent Adept.
Yes, we do have final artwork from Adam. Yep. All right, so we've got, and then Fanatic has got a Chastise, an Embolden, a Final Dive, and an Undaunted. Unfortunately, no Zealous Offense. And Super Scientific Tachyon, 2 Blinding Speeds, a Fleet of Foot, and a Pushing the Limit. So...
I feel good about this setup.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. All right, so let's start game and let's see what's going to happen. So remember, we're playing Matriarch on Advanced, which means that her 2 cohort cards are going to be indestructible. So let's not get those out if we can avoid it.
I don't think we have any deck control.
Yeah, we don't have any deck control. So
actually, this is a great start, though. She did nothing on her turn, essentially, except she's going to deal some damage. So that's wonderful.
All right, so select.
We have no ongoing cards.
Yeah, so
she's going to deal siege damage.
So as you guys know, if you were watching last week, but for those who weren't watching last week, we've implemented a system of voting here for multiplayer. So whenever there is a communal decision to be made, everyone in the game can sort of cast their vote. At the moment, we have it all set up for unanimous voting. So nothing happens in the game until everybody agrees. So that's why. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select choose for me. John will select choose for me, and then we will proceed.
And Tachyon is the nemesis of the Matriarch.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that was actually kind of an ideal start. Not 100% ideal, but like too dark in the skies would be ideal. If you look in the trash.
Horde Cacophony, we've got destroy 4 hero ongoing cards, and the Matriarch deals each non-villain target 2 sonic damage. We didn't have any ongoing, so all we had was the damage from that. And then Dark in the Sky basically brings all the foul from the trash into play, and there was no foul in the play in the trash. So we're good to go.
Yep. So we're ready to start hitting her and the mask. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to get out Heroic Interception at this point because there's no real threat. So I'm going to put out Inspiring Presence. We'll all heal and start doing more damage.
Always a big fan.
And as for power to use, I guess we could get Tachyon started, or we could have Fanatics do some damage. One thing, combo I wanted to mention, we do have the Argent Adept is able to control the bottom of his deck to some extent with one of his cards, so we can use that to our advantage with Tachyon. Just keep that in mind.
Yes.
So one hero regains a hit point and can use a power now. I'm going to go for Tachyon. She can run an experiment, maybe get herself set up faster or someone else.
All right, so this is again where I lament the fact that we haven't run the numbers on this. I would love in a future version of our game when you run a super scientific Tachyon experiment to dynamically generate what the odds are of a successful experiment next to each of these characters. Just that's a personal thing. Because Tachyon is generally the best choice because of all of her burst cards and stuff like that. But especially with a new character like Argent Adept in play, I would love to know what the odds are on him of getting out. Like,
well, you could always experiment on him if you want.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. This early in the game, I think I might want to try that and just see what happens.
Discard.
Yep, we got a 1-shot and an ongoing rhythm. Oh well.
That's fine.
Now's the time to try that stuff. All right, so
gloves have cool musical notes on them.
Indeed. All right, so generally speaking, at this point, since I don't have any instruments in hand or songs out, I don't necessarily want to pull an instrument until I have at least one song out. I feel like would you agree with that? Is that a pretty reasonable opening strategy? Like, I probably don't want to play instrumental conjuration if I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get instruments, but they're not as critical early on because you can just vocalize. So if I were you, I would probably play one of the songs, and the one that can actually do something right now would be the Shares of Frost and Flame.
Yeah, that was what I was leaning toward.
And it'll actually do 4 damage with the +1 I'm giving you. So
awesome. So that's what I'm doing. Play that out. So like I said, this is an ongoing melody, so you notice that it's darkened. So there's no power.
And now all the new
it.
players are going to be like, Argent Adept is such an awesome damage dealer.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and vocalize, which now allows me to use any perform text. So now you'll see that the way that we've worked this basically is that performs and accompanies, when used in vocalize or with an instrument, work in the same way that powers do. So you'll notice that when I click on this, now this is a melody, so it's kind of a bad example, but if you look at a harmony here that has a perform and an accompany, if you're in the process of using a song or a vocalize that is working for performs, you will be able to click on anything that has a perform, and the perform text will show up like it is a power. Similar with an accompany. You won't see both of them as options. You'll only see the one that you can currently use. So, all right. So should I start whittling down the Matriarch herself, or should we try and get that mask out of there?
I would get the mask.
Yeah.
If we can kill it, that would be great. It's really annoying that basically she gets all kinds of double plays, so...
All right, thank you, Jean-Marc. So, Super Scientific Tachyon for the characters in play, percentage chance of playing cards. Legacy, 58.7, Argent Adept, 36.9, Fanatic, 45, and Tachyon, 64.5. Interesting. Thank you, sir. So, Argent Adept is actually the least, so I won't do that again. All right, and there we are on to Fanatic.
Let's see. Can't quite use Final Dive, unfortunately. So I could embolden on the Argent Adept, potentially. You don't have enough cards yet to use it, though. So I might just go ahead and play Undaunted for myself. And get emboldened out soon, hopefully.
So Mario Fanatic, real quick, is asking Jean-Marc where he got the stats from. He came up with, if you look on handleabra.com, there's actually a formula that Jean-Marc came up with to figure this out for that we wrote an article on, a blog post on handleabra.com talking about exactly what the odds are for all Super Scientific Tachyon experimentations at the core game. But he still has the formula that he can run against, all new characters. We just haven't written that up yet, which we should at some point. All right, so, first things first, let's get pushing the limits out. And then it's always a good idea to play Fleet of Foot. So Legacy's got to bolster allies.
So one strategy tip here is you might want to play Fleet of Foot first, so that it goes into the trash for your second play. Because it could be important. It isn't right now.
Yeah.
As it happens.
All right, so let's see here. Drag a card up to play it. There's no reason to use a Blinding Speed at this point. And
no, you would just destroy one of our cards.
Yeah, and with Super Scientific, I'm not going to use Research Grant.
Put it in play.
Yeah, there's some ongoing destruction, so we might as well get that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Experiment, and I'm going to experiment on myself, since, as Jean-Marc pointed out, Tachyon has the best odds.
Yeah,
he
Sucker
continues
Punch.
to do, and we've got a Sucker Punch, which we can actually use. So I'm going to go ahead and Sucker Punch that Mask of the Matriarch, which will now be gone. That's a burst card, and now I'm going to get Synaptic Interruption up, and now I've got all 3 Blinding Speeds in my hand. Wonderful.
Well, that's good. Those are super useful cards. Well, I guess not so much, because we have the Argent Adept who can destroy ongoings, anytime with his Saraband of Destruction. But that's okay.
All right, Oxygen Leak. Reduce all fire damage by 3 at the end of the environment turn. All right, are we doing
I wouldn't worry about this, because there's 0 cards in the environment trash.
Yeah, and we're not doing... I don't think anyone's doing...
Oh, right. Do we care about fire damage? The Argent Adept might be, so...
Oh, right, with shares falsifying. We can skip it for now, I think.
Yeah, if you don't feel like you're going to be doing the fire damage, then...
Yeah, I think on my next turn, I'm either going to play a Harmony to try and get something out, so that I can then be in a position for an instrument the following turn.
All right, so whenever she plays a foul, more fouls.
Foul, foul. 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 Dark in the Sky.
Well, the mask comes back. That also not so bad, all things considered.
That's 2 streams in a row where Sucker Punch was useful. Excuse me, I need to go check the temperature in hell. Thank you, Caradol.
Hey, Sucker Punch is always useful against the Matriarch. It always works against the birds. Okay, so what's our thought now? If we want to clear up these birds, I could do a Heroic Interception. Because you have an Accelerated Assault there with Tachyon. And
yes,
then we
I
don't
did.
need to worry.
I drew an Accelerated Assault, yeah.
If I do a Heroic Interception, then we don't need to worry about the reaction damage at all.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
So, all right, I'm going to do that. I'll hit myself. That's okay. I'm tough. All right, so, and to use a power, I think I'm probably going to give it to Fanatic, so she can do some damage, and also become the highest hit points. Well, she's the highest hit points already, I guess, so she doesn't have to be. I could experiment on Tachyon, I guess. That's potentially better. But also could do nothing. So I'm going to go with the thing that I know will be good for now. And we'll have Fanatic damage the mask. And we'll try to get it back into the trash for good.
Yeah, because, at this point now, we've played 2 of the Dark in the Skies. There may only be 2 Dark in the Skies. All right.
I'll look.
So here we are. So Argent Adept. As I was mentioning before, so here's an instrument card. I got Zeus Bell.
Azu's Bell is an equipment. Activate the perform text of a rhythm card and the accompany text of either a rhythm card or a harmony card. So this is, again, like once you start getting instruments into play, you can really start doing some interesting stuff. I don't know
there
that
are 3 copies of Dark in the Sky.
Okay, so we got one more to worry about. All right, so let's see here. I've already got a melody out. Let's see what a sadistic dissident do. Destroy an instrument. If you do, destroy any one card in play other than a character card or a company. Discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards. That's like the flip of that Tachyon card.
Yeah, the instrumental conjuration is nice because you also get to draw an extra card.
Yeah.
So getting one out...
yeah, and I don't know that I love Zeus Bell because
example.
I don't have any rhythm cards. So, yeah, let's do that, actually. So, we're going to search my deck for an instrument. All right, and then the cool thing about this card, it's awesome because you get to pick which instrument you want. It's not just take the first one you get. So let's take a look real quick at what the different instruments are. So we've got a punk news drum, which is a company text of rhythm, perform text of melody. We've got Drake's pipes, which is 2 different melodies, perform text of 2 different melodies. We've got, I don't know the names, Idazar's. Sure, Idazar's horn.
We'll need to get Christopher on here to pronounce everything.
Activate the perform text of a melody and the accompany of a harmony. We've got Musargini's harp. Perform text of a harmony and accompany text of a harmony. So this is a harmony. And then Telemon's lyra. Activate the perform of a harmony and the accompany of a rhythm. So all I have out right now is... Go ahead.
These names are all the names of the previous virtuosos of the Void.
Aha. I did not know that. Yes, as we attempt... Well, John actually probably would be better at the pronunciation. I'm the one who always screws up the pronunciation. All right, so like this is harmony, which I don't have either of. I could get out this horn and then play the harmony. Yeah, I'm going to do that because I've got a harmony in my hand that I might get out next. So...
Cool. And Vernal Sonata is a handy card. Yes, all of his cards are very musical references, which is fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, if you do a damage, you can do a damage to the Mask of the Matriarch. Then I can final dive it right into...
Yep, so I'll do that, and then I think I can't do the fire because of the oxygen leak, but that's fine, because she's now at 3, so you can final dive the Mask.
Right, yeah, because the oxygen leak puts you at minus.
Yep. All right, so here we are, Fanatic.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use Final Dive, which destroys a target with 4 or fewer HP. So when it was at 5 before, I couldn't do it. But I can destroy this one, and it does as much damage as it had hit points. So I'll take her mask and throw it right in her face, but not in such a way that it lands on her face for her to wear it. That's right. Blue Dark Yugi points out that Drake's pipes are his own instruments because he is Drake, Anthony Drake. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just start hitting the Matriarch because Tachyon is going to take care of those birds. Embolden's all over the place. I like it.
All right. I am going to do myself the damage because it's Heroic Interception, so nothing to worry about there. But I lose it.
You lose the card because you didn't deal damage.
Oh, that's right. So I forgot that it's you have to take the damage, not just deal the damage. All right. Well, then I guess I'm not going to get to play one of those blinding speeds, so I'll just do the accelerated assault, and that'll be that.
I mean, you can discard a blinding speed for it too, right? Like it's equivalent. Playing it versus discarding it. All right. Yeah, so Matriarch is going to try to deal Fanatic damage, but Fanatic is immune to damage.
Yeah.
And as Fanatic, I get to decide what happens there.
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and experiment once again on myself. Discarding, and neither of them are bursts.
Hypersonic Assault is a nice card to have against the Matriarch.
Yes.
But actually, the Argent Adept can help you get it back with Hypersonic or with Vernal Sonata.
Yes.
So here, this is doing 0 fire damage or toxic damage to everyone. Except we're all immune anyways. All right, do we want to discard to get rid of this? You could discard a Sucker Punch if you want. It's still not doing anything, but it is reducing some damage potentially from the Argent Adept.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it.
Watch the next card be Fire in the Biosphere. Nope.
Oh, self-destruct sequence.
That's okay. We can easily get rid of that with a Blinding Speed.
Well, and also maintenance level goes under it when it gets destroyed anyway, so I don't know that we're so worried about it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So she played a Carrion Fields, which is great because since the mask is destroyed, she doesn't play another card. And this only cares about foul cards being destroyed, so that was really fortunate.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not going to skip for self-destruct sequence. I'm actually going to do things now. So let's see. How are we for cards? Tachyon, do you have any cards you want to play? Not really, I guess.
Yeah, not really.
I will allow you to draw a card. Most graciously.
Sonic Blade has asked me to take a look at what is underneath the self-destruct sequence. Oops. And so we've got Pervasive Red Dust and a Villainous Weaponry. So actually, 2 cards I'm perfectly fine with being stuck underneath self-destruct sequence. All right, and then choose for me here. So we got a Takedown.
Excellent. An Arcane Cadence. Here we'll see the Argent Adept do his thing. Oh, and great. You can play more of the cards you don't want to play.
Wait, what did you just say? I did not draw an Arcane Cadence. Did it show you that I drew an Arcane Cadence?
Did you not draw Arcane Cadence?
I drew Counterpoint Bulwark.
Okay, well, something got desynchronized then.
Uh-oh.
We could try rewinding. Let's rewind to the Matriarch's turn.
So I see Carrion Fields.
Okay.
Heroic Interception is destroyed. Skip the rest of your turn, no. Legacy's making a decision.
Okay. So maybe I'll play a different card. I guess I want to play Bolster Ally so you see what happens again. So let's choose the Argent Adept first. I see Arcane Cadence. Well, yeah, everyone in the stream sees what Jeremy sees.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I'm trying to figure out what happened. So, your deck got shuffled when you searched for the instrument.
Ah.
That might have been when that happened. No one else's deck got shuffled since then?
Well, let's see. So let's look at Legacy. See if anything else changes.
Sure.
Takedown, which we agreed that was correct. Right?
Yeah, Takedown.
All right, so Fanatic, Brutal Censure,
and Lightning Reflexes.
All right.
All right, I'm guessing there's a problem with that card, that it didn't do the shuffle in the right way.
All right, so I wonder what happens if I play that card and your game thinks I played Arcane Cadence.
Oh, it'll go completely nuts.
Uh-huh.
So we can try. Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm looking in the code right now.
Okay,
because I'm curious.
So yeah, I'm just gonna bug fixing live on stream. So we're actually probably not gonna fix this bug live on the stream, but we can discuss what's going on. So here's why you guys can't play this yet. The reason is because, as you can hear from what Migrant P is talking about, we're still working on how to make sure that the game state is synchronized across different games. Now, we've played Yeah, I agree, Jean-Marc. We're definitely gonna keep playing it to see what happens. But basically what's happening here is that there are very few situations in our game that require an actual random number generator, and shuffling is basically the main one. And what happened here was that the Argent Adept's deck was shuffled after I searched for an instrument, and it was shuffled on both systems. And ideally, they should have probably the same random seed, and so they would shuffle in a deterministic way. But it seems like that has not happened. Would that be a fair representation, John?
Yep. So they just got shuffled differently, and so something got out of sync there. We are working on, we will put in basically a fail-safe so that in case something screws up that we haven't figured out, it will be able to resynchronize the games, but that's not in there yet. So it's not worth playing now. Like, it will just, there's no point.
No, I agree, except for the fact that I do want to see what happens if I play that card. I want you to tell me what it says happens on your end. So just play.
Sure.
If you, I mean, we can back out, because here's what I think we should probably do at this point, because we're far enough into this game that I could back out, and then you could Skype share screen and we can finish this game, right? If I back all the way out and then continue.
Yep. Do you want to just do that now?
Well, let's.
There's literally 0 point to.
Yeah, you're right.
Not doing that now. There is no meaningful information that will be gathered. I don't even think it's entertaining.
No meaningful yeah, see, there might be entertainment, is what I'm saying. All right, so I am going to go to the main menu.
All right.
I'm going to share my screen to you. Sorry, guys, but this is exactly why this is an alpha. So let's get.
Yep.
Skype. Let me know when you can see me.
I can see it.
All right, so we are going to continue game now. So basically what you're going to see here is that the act of backing out and now continuing has essentially turned this into a single-player game. So you're not going to get to see the thing. You are actually still going to see some vestiges of it being of having started as a multiplayer game. All right, so where were we? Legacy. Power? Or did we want to...
Yep.
Yes, right.
Use the power. And I was thinking, we could either do an experiment or we could just start damaging the Matriarch, which I'm probably pro. Just damaging.
Fanatic?
So Fanatic, yeah.
All right, so Fanatic is going to use Exorcism on the Matriarch, do 4 damage, 2 melee, and then 2 radiant. Draw Danger Sense, and now we're on to the Argent Adept. All right, I do not want to skip the rest of my turn. And let's see what we got here. So, all right, so I have an instrument in play that can use the perform of a melody and the accompany of a harmony. And I have one harmony in my hands. So let's take a look at that. We got Sadistic Dissonant. The perform of this is to destroy an instrument. So this is kind of one that you got to be careful with. But the accompany is to discard 2 cards, but then draw 3. So if you want some turnover in your hand, this is a pretty good accompany to activate. I then have a rhythm and 2 other melodies. Let's see, we got Rhapsody of Vigor as a healer, which I don't really think we need much at this point. And then I've got an ongoing or environment destruction with Saraband Bond of Destruction. Sarabande! I think I'm going to get out... I actually think I'm going to get out Sadistic Dissonance.
Sadistic Dissonance is really nice because of its first ability, which lets you just straight up destroy any card at the cost of an instrument. So it's very powerful. Say a whole bunch of birds come out, we might want to use that to destroy that carrion fields. All right. So without worrying about how much hit points it has.
So I'm going to start with the Perform, and I'm going to use Scherzo, Frost, and Flame, and I'm going to deal this damage. I get to do 4 damage total. So I'm going to do... I think I'm going to just do all of it to the Matriarch, yeah?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not worried about the carrion fields.
Yeah.
Especially since you have Sadistic Dissonant. We can take care of it easily. And we might not even care about it, depending on what happens later, so...
And then I'm going to
keep putting the Matriarch.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use my... Sadistic Dissident to trash 2 cards and then draw 3. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of one of my instrumental conjurations and keep one of them. And then one ongoing or environment card. I think I'm actually going to get rid of the bell. Is that weird? I don't know. I haven't played enough Argent Adept to know what is a typical strategy for him. But
the thing about instruments is that they're easy to get because you have the conjuration.
Right. And
like, don't get rid of the conjuration. Get rid of the instrument. It's just like with Bunker.
Okay, yeah.
Throw your equipment into the trash because you have ways to get it.
Got it. All right, so we'll get rid of that. And then I'm going to draw a Vernal Sonata, a Silver Shadow, and another Scherzo Frost and Flame.
Didn't you already have a Vernal Sonata?
And then there's another Vernal Sonata.
Did you discard one?
I have 2 Vernal Sonatas.
Okay, did you have one before?
Before this turn began?
Yeah. I guess not. For some reason, I thought you had one. Maybe our games were out of sync for longer than I thought.
Oh, could be.
That's possible.
All right. So, Fanatic, do you want to skip the rest of your turn?
We'll have to watch the video later.
Yep.
Nope.
All right, so we got a Brutal Censure, Chastise, 2 Emboldens, Final Dive. And you've already got Undaunted in play, so the other one you can't use.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I could embolden someone like Fanatic. Excuse me. Or sorry, I mean, I could embolden myself, but that's not useful right now. But I can embolden Tachyon, since you actually do have another power.
That's true.
You'd want to use Research Grant, which help you get cards you actually want to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Emboldening the Argent Adept is also great because that lets you play more instruments. Because you can use powers once on your turn, but you can play songs as many times as you can.
Right.
So you're not limited to perform and accompany the same thing more than once, which is really nice. So you can if I give you an extra power, you can perform the same thing twice potentially. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're okay with taking some damage for that, I can embolden one of your characters if you're interested.
Yep.
You can choose which one you like.
Yeah, let's do Tachyon for the time being, because I do think, let's see if we can't get her.
Yeah, I mean, I can embolden Argent Adept next turn.
Yep. All right, so now some damage.
Damage to the Matriarch. Yeah, the chat room is talking about the Vernal Sonata. I definitely saw you draw Vernal Sonata the previous turn, so there was some... It was already out of sync, I think, on the Argent Adept's deck for some reason, so...
Gotcha.
We will investigate. Obviously, it's still very early in the game, so...
Yeah. All right, so, I could just... At the end of the environment turn, play the next environment card. So this...
We can get rid of that by reshuffling our trash into our deck. If you want to avoid that, you could use You could use a Blinding Speed, but I don't know if that's...
Yeah, that's what I was actually contemplating. Is do I Lightning Reflex, Blinding Speed, Blinding Speed?
Why don't you just Blinding Speed the maintenance level only? Because the Argent Adept has a way to get rid of the self-destruct sequence,
That's true. Well, I'm just thinking, because, that's me basically getting 2 bursts into the trash, and then I was going to Research Grant and Experiment.
Yeah, I guess it's nice to have the Blinding Speed for
Just
later, for other reasons.
Okay.
They're very useful.
All right, in that case, then I'll just do the 1, and we'll get rid of maintenance level. And so that'll boost up the self-destruct sequence. I get to use 2
exactly.
powers.
We have more rounds for that, too.
So let's go ahead and Research Grant. So we got a Hypersonic Assault.
Excellent.
Hang on to that. I got a Sonic Vortex. Let's see. I think I'm going to get rid of...
Sucker Punch, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say Sonic... this is one of those other villains where actually Sonic Vortex is a really good thing to keep around. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of Sucker Punch. Because I've already got 5, so that means, there's now 6. So that's a lot of damage I can do to foul cards if they come out. All right, so let's go ahead and experiment on Tachyon again. So I've got
another research
grant, which I'm going to play, and it's going to get discarded.
Hey, you could use 2 of them now if you wanted.
Oh, that's right. They're not limited.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You get to draw 2 cards for pushing the limits. It's great. So it's going to be 3 damage, but it might.
I'll take it.
You still have tons of hit points. So.
Yep.
Oh, and Synaptic Interruption. So you can actually. Well, you will lose the Embolden if you redirect this because you have to take the damage.
Yeah. I want to keep it. Maybe next turn.
All right.
Discard Sucker Punch, says Lewd Dolphin. It's never useful, except for the last 2 times. Where it's been very useful.
Oh, hey, and here's... Yeah, so if you want to discard another card for Oxygen Leak, Tachyon or someone else, I guess. If Tachyon has something she wants to discard. Maybe Accelerated Assault. You're not going to need it because Hypersonic Assault does the same thing.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, we can do that. So let's... where am I? Tachyon. Accelerated.
But better.
So wait, did we just draw another maintenance level?
Yeah. All right. So now... so here we got a Horde Cacophony, which is actually not bad because... that means she's not going to play any birds.
Yes. All right. So, let's see what we got here. Don't
destroy the Synaptic Interruption because you'll be able to use it to redirect the damage back to her.
Yeah. So I think we can definitely get rid of one of the research grants.
Sure.
That's
both the research grants if you want, and the Embolden, and then that's like 3 of the cards.
What is Undaunted? Exactly 1 damage or 5 or more damage.
I could get rid of Undaunted too. I haven't needed it, and I think it's not needed at this point. We're kicking her butt.
Yeah, we kind of are. All right, so let's get rid. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get rid of Research Grant and Embolden.
Yeah,
and then that'll be good. And then they'll choose for me. Oh, actually, I should have stopped there for a second. So you might have seen that there was a 0 vote on the choose for me there. Which
that's just a bug. And whenever you play single player in this build, it's going to show that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could hit Matriarch with that. She'll punch herself, or scream at herself, I guess. All right. No.
Skip? No. All right.
Takedown. She's doing nothing. And then let's go ahead and have Fnatic hit her, probably. Let the Argent Adept do it. So he can use a power, which is any of his instruments. So you can do some damage if you want, or other things.
So do Argent Adept?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Because I want you to get the hit point, not Fnatic.
Sure. All right, so let's see what I got here. So power-wise, I can either just use Vocalize and do a Perform, or I can do a Melody Perform.
You may as well do that.
Yeah, so I'll do the same thing I did last turn, which is I'm going to use Scherzo Frost and Flame, which is going to be some damage dealing, which I'm going to do right to the Matriarch.
Man,
so
Argent Adept is doing so much damage this game.
And a 2 fire.
He's basically a really good support character, but it's cool to see him doing some damage.
And then I'm going to do the second thing, which is I'm going to do my Accompany, which is going to be Sadistic Dissonant, which is my discard 2, draw 3.
Yeah, so you could discard that other Scherzo.
Yep, so that's a definite there. Let's see here. Silver Shadow. Activate an Accompany. May either draw a card or play a card.
Yeah, I like to keep that because it's basically a free play.
Yeah. So Counterpoint Bulwark is the only rhythm I have.
Yeah, I would discard that personally because you have other songs and you have other stuff. I would never discard Vernal Sonata because it's the only card you can't get back with Vernal Sonata. So,
all right, I'll get rid of Counterpoint Bulwark.
Yeah, and Rhapsody of Vigor is cool. I like to have it, and Saraband of Destruction is super useful. Hey, look at that! You're getting all kinds of cool stuff.
Yep. All right, so now I've got all kinds of instruments. And then there we got... So there's Takedown.
So now the Matriarch cannot play cards.
I do not want to skip the rest of my turn. All right, so let's see what we got here. The Argent Adept, I now have several instruments. I've got a Punk News Drums, Activate the accompany of a rhythm and the perform of a melody. I just discarded my only rhythm, so there's nothing to use that for. Then I've got Drake's Pipes, which is basically 2 different performs on melody cards, but I've only got 1 in play. Let's see here.
Silver Shadow would let you do the discard and draw again, and then play another card.
Yeah. Wait, let's see what we got here. Alacritus, Subdominant, Perform. 1 player, play 1 card now. If you use a
That is a great
now.
one. Letting someone play a card is great. Especially because you can do it on yourself.
So, and that is a harmony, which means I would have to use the perform, which the horn would not let me do. That's the perform of a melody. See, this is where, so like the few times that I've played, this is a lot of what I get caught in, and I feel like this is going to happen to anyone who's trying to get to know Argent Adept, which is that, trying to remember exactly what each of the instruments lets you do can be a little tricky. So like I'm always thinking like, okay, a punctured drum. I know that that's a rhythm. What is it? It's an accompany of a rhythm, but then a perform of a melody, as opposed to
the order can matter.
Yeah, the order can matter, exactly. And so that's where I'm trying to figure out. And like that's why a Cedar's horn, Idisar's horn, Idisar's horn, is a perform of a melody and then an accompany of a harmony. And I have a melody and a harmony in play, so that's what I've been doing. But let's see.
Yeah, I would go ahead and do the Silver Shadow, so that you get even more options.
Yeah, let's do that. So we'll activate the accompany here, which is to discard 2 and then draw 3. I'm going to discard. I feel like we don't really need the healing, so should I get rid of Rhapsody of Vigor?
You could just discard the instruments because you can get them back.
Both of them?
You can get them with the instrumental conjuration. You can get the one you want.
That's true. All right, fair enough. I'm learning. Trust the process. All right, so there we go.
And Vernal Sonata can also let you get it back.
So we got Inspiring Supertonic, Counterpoint Bulwark, and another Vernal Sonata. So now I have all 3 Vernal Sonatas in my hand. So that's neat. And then what do I want to do? Draw a card or play a card?
I would say play a card.
Duh. All right, so let's see here. Aspiring Supertonic. This is a harmony. I've got 1 player may use a power now, and then Argent Adept regains 2 HP as the accompany on that card.
So that song is like the critical part of important combos for Argent Adept. Being able to use a power allows you to chain. Anything that lets you perform harmonies allows you to, if you have that song out, to then use another power, which is play another instrument. So you can chain a whole bunch of powers together using that song. So super good.
All right, so let's see here.
Like for instance, it's not useful, but you could. It's not useful at the moment, but you could, if you played Supertonic, you could use your base power to perform that, which would allow you to use the horn, which would allow you to do other things. It becomes more useful when you have the Lyra, which lets you do that perform and an accompany, so you start getting bonus abilities, basically.
Complexity 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do that. So Inspiring Supertonic. So I'm going to vocalize Inspiring Supertonic.
Sure. This isn't actually helping anything, by the way, but it is an example.
But yeah, it's a good example. So we're going to vocalize Inspiring Supertonic and then use that. So that's perform. 1 player may use a power now.
Actually, have Legacy use a power.
Oh, I like it. So Legacy is going to use a power. Legacy's power, of course, is to not only allow someone to use a power, but then also gain an HP. So we're going to bounce that back to Argent Adept, I assume?
Yep. So that's a free hit point.
Free hit point, and then a power.
Use the other power.
Which I'm now going to use Idisar's horn. And
yeah, so that was useful. So
yeah.
Good call. And then we'll do what you would have done without getting a hit point.
Exactly.
But now you get a hit point.
So that's boom, 2 cold, 2 fire. And then we'll do Sadistic Dissonant.
Keep in mind, the other song does have a company. You could have gained 2 hit points instead.
You didn't want the Inspiring Supertonic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not a big deal, though. This is a good ability. You can draw into other things.
Yeah.
I would get rid of that one, the Counterpoint Bulwark.
Yeah, that was the one. That was definitely one I was going to get rid of. And then Yeah, I still feel like we don't need the healing right now.
Yeah, you'll probably draw another one.
And there's the Lyra. Awesome.
Yeah, that one's great.
And an Arcane Cadence. And another Arcane Cadence.
Excellent. All right, you're going to have another long...
Next turn is going to be so much fun.
And Polyphoric Flare, which lets you use more powers. Yeah.
All right. So, Fanatic.
No, don't skip. I could also embolden you so that you could use... there's all sorts of ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I could do the embolden. It's not a bad call to embolden onto the Argent Adept, or I could just brutal censure onto the Matriarch and do more damage. I think I'm just going to do that. Brutal censure.
I feel like we're on a roll. Let's just keep damaging.
Draw another card. Try to get Absolution or something. Hey, Smite the Transgressor. Then do more damage. Just down to 30. If the Argent Adept doesn't have his whole deck in his hand, he's not playing right. The Scarecrow King. He's really good at getting a lot of cards. And then making great use of them.
And I do not want to skip the rest of my turn.
Yeah. Do you need to play extra? I guess you want to draw more cards.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I want to draw. So I'll do the
damage.
It's fine.
I would suggest saving that Hypersonic Assault.
I concur.
So you could just play a couple Sonic Vortexes. You could hit the maintenance level again.
I was gonna say, let's just blinding speed that maintenance level. Get that underneath. And then
last time.
I think I'm just going to skip my second play.
No, Sonic Vortex. That's going to be a bunch of damage.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. This is my issue with Sonic Vortex. I always feel like I want to hold it until I can damage more things,
But you have 2 of them, and it's 5 damage. That's pretty solid.
And that's the thing, basically by saying that, I almost never use that card, so it's probably good to just use it.
All right, and an experiment.
All right, and do you want to respond to Evil Dice Monkey?
We don't have underlining in there yet, but we are going to be doing that.
Yep.
Hey, look at that.
As always, it is pre-alpha, pre-alpha.
Yeah, there's still lots of work to do on both the Infernal Relic stuff and the multiplayer. But thanks for noticing.
It's almost like Matriarch is Baron Blade this game. And another Hypersonic.
This is ridiculous.
Seriously, this is not even fun. I don't even know what's happening here. How has it ever been this good?
And then all targets immune to damage, which we actually don't want this. But
I know.
Though we could...
Yeah, so Arcanus Lupus, that's exactly what... Since I now have 2 Arcane Cadences, that's pretty much precisely what I was planning on doing, was setting up for an experiment for next turn. All right, so no?
Not for that.
So not for this, but then yes for Meteor Storm?
Well, let me see. Oh, I could have skipped my turn to keep Takedown in play. Yeah, go back. We're going to really cheese this game. So go back to the Matriarch play card. So this is a way to cheese the game a little bit. Since at the start of the turn and end of the turn, the cards take effect in the order that they are played. I'm getting asked about Self-Destruct Sequence first because it was in play before.
Right.
And so I can skip my turn and then Takedown's Destroy does not happen. So it stays in play. So yes, skip my turn. And we are going to really cheese the Matriarch here.
All right, so Argent is not going to
You actually don't have to skip your turn here. You can destroy it with one of your cards if you want. Saraband of Destruction.
Oh, that's right.
So you could just put that into play and use it, or hope to get it with Arcane Cadence, which is possible.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like if we don't do the Arcane Cadence dance on the stream, that's a waste of
Go ahead and do it. It doesn't.
an opportunity.
It's not going to matter.
All right, so here's what we're talking about. So Arcane Cadence, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put one in your hand, one on the top, one on the bottom, one in your trash, and play one. I have 2 of them, which means that the final card, the play one, will be another Arcane Cadence. And so this allows me to basically set up...
because you didn't get one.
What's that?
It won't be because you didn't get one.
Won't be what?
It won't be another Arcane Cadence because you didn't get one.
Oh, that's right. See, I have 2 in play, but I have to play one from these 5.
You have 2 in your hand. You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand, right? All right.
So
well, whatever.
You can chain them if they
come in the draws, right? All right. So let's see what we got here. Instrumental Conjuration. So let's see here. We got Inventive Preparation. 2 of those. It's another song. A rhythm. We've got Rhapsody of Vigor, which we already discarded one of those, and then we've got the Sarbane of Destruction, which we've already talked about. So I think let's do...
So I would suggest we want to play the Saraband.
Right.
So you could put the Conjuration in your hand if you want more options to get instruments, or on top of your deck, because whatever's on top of your deck you're gonna draw at the end of your turn anyways, right? So
yeah. So I think we're gonna in hand. I'm going to Instrumental Conjuration. Top of deck. Again, we don't really need the healing, so I'm going to Inventive Preparation.
Sure.
Bottom of deck.
So the bottom of the deck is stuff you're going to set up for Tachyon. So Ongoing Rhythm or Ongoing Melody.
Yeah, but they're both ongoing, so either way.
And remember that.
Just remember that it's going to be an ongoing. We'll put the
I think getting the rigor down there is fine.
Yeah, we'll trash the Inventive Preparation, and then we'll play the Sarbane of Restoration. Of Destruction, excuse me. And so now we're going to do the...
Right, so we can bounce this off.
Yes, now we can do the other thing again. So we're going to do the Perform.
Bounces off Legacy again.
The Super Tonic, right? We're going to bounce that off of Legacy. Legacy is then going to bounce it back to Argent Adept. Argent Adept is then going to use the Horn. But in this case, I'm actually going to use the ongoing or environment card destruction of the Sarabane instead of the Shares of Frost and Flame as I have been. So we'll get rid of
Meteor Storm.
Meteor Storm. And then, actually, that's right. I have the 2 Harmony, so I can either regain 2 HP.
You're at full health, though.
Discard 2. Yeah, discard 2, draw 3.
I'd go for it. You have to do 1.
Yeah.
I mean, you have... Yeah. Basically, you can do whatever you want. There's no way we can lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get rid of one of these Vernal Sonatas, and then I'm going to get rid of... honestly, I'm going to get rid of one of the Instrumental, whatever.
Okay.
And there's that Inventive Preparation that we put on top. I got another Silver Shadow. And... Oh. How many Vernal Sonatas are there?
There's 4 of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's a great card. It lets you... Like, he's very good at getting his cards no matter where they are, right?
Yeah. And I don't care. Oh, whoop. Well, that was your play, but I assume we don't want to skip.
Yeah, she doesn't want to skip. It's only Legacies that's going to skip and keep Takedown in play forever. So, what do we want to do? Probably just punch a bunch. Punch a bunch. I can't really see what's going on.
Oh, sorry. I was sort of... Okay, so you got Undaunted, Smite the Transgressor.
Yeah, the screen's frozen now.
Oh. Holy Nova, Final Dive, Embolden, Chastise, or Aegis of Resurrection. So if we just want to focus damage, it looks like Holy Nova is your choice, since you don't have a second power for Smite the Transgressor.
Yeah, I'll do Holy Nova.
So we'll do 2 more damage to the Matriarch.
And we all heal.
Yep, heal.
We're going to end the game in full health, probably. You could do that if you get your...
That should be an achievement.
Going. That'd be a good idea.
That would be a good achievement, wouldn't it? All right, and then exercise the demons on Matriarch.
Yep.
Prayer of Desperation. All right, and now here we are, Super Scientific Tachyon. No, we are not going to skip. Do I want to do damage?
You can't. Or you actually can, because we got rid of the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
you could play Sonic Vortex and Synaptic Interruption if you wanted.
Or I could Lightning Reflex and then Lightning Reflex and play everything in my hand. Because why not? Right?
Sure.
I have none of. There's only one of them are bursts, so no more bursts are going in my trash. So, but let's see. So we'll Lightning Reflex, Hypersonic.
You can actually, if you can hit yourself with Sonic Vortex if you have the Synaptic Interruption out first and redirect that damage.
Love it.
It's a good trick.
All right, boom. Hypersonic.
I don't think it's... it might be enough if you do that. Yeah, it will be enough if you for doing that. It will be enough to take her down.
Sonic Vortex. So we'll do... look at that. And then let's show all targets and damage Tachyon. Redirect it.
She's so fast, the sound of her vortex is hitting the Matriarch twice.
That was crazy.
Look at that.
Who would have thought that an advanced Matriarch game would go like that?
So I've seen, and I've actually played an advanced Matriarch game like that on the tabletop too, and it's like, if she doesn't get to play her cards, like get to play a lot of foul cards or a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, it is awesome when the Nemesis is the damage dealer.
Yeah.
That should be an achievement too someday.
Yeah, that should be an achievement. Basically, if she can't chain her foul cards and chain the Matriarch stuff, the Masculine Matriarch together, and you can block that down, then she can't do anything, right? But I mean, she could have played like 10 or 20 foul cards, but we were able to sort of block her damage and keep her from getting it a hand. She's really easy to overwhelm you, though, or she can really easily overwhelm you.
Yeah. And I had a lot of fun playing Argent Adept in public for the first time.
Yeah, you didn't embarrass yourself at all.
I know. you gotta love it when that happens. Because again, Argent Adept is one of those things where, not to beat this particular dead horse, but like, I'm really good at simple characters. Where it's like, oh, this character should always be doing damage. Okay, sign me up. I'm good at that character. You start having a character like Argent Adept where you have to think three steps ahead, or else you're just gonna like whiff it. That's where I start to be a bit out of my element, if you will. So,
right.
It's one of the reasons why I wanted to play it and have you coach me through, because I think, learning a character like that is really only doable when you've got someone who really understands the strategy helping you through it, I think.
Yeah, because, you can look at his hand and be like, I can't do anything, but you actually can. It just takes a little time to build it up. So, a lot of his instruments actually help him play more cards and stuff, too. So you can accelerate things, potentially. We'll definitely, I'm sure we'll be playing Argent Adept more on the stream, and we'll get some super arcane cadence chains going, because you can actually get a chain where you get through all of them in one turn.
So is the goal, for the people who are asking to see the villains ending HP, are we talking about like negative? Is that what you're looking for? Because I realize that there are several villains where they can lose without being at 0 HP.
I think usually people want to see when they win what their HP was.
Yeah. Yeah, so like people talk about when
we are planning to add more stats and stuff onto the screen, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we have big plans, as always. This is a game that is it finished to the point that we're proud to let you guys play it? Absolutely. Is it completely done? No. In the same way that the tabletop game isn't done. The story as they're building it is still coming along. Villains of the Multiverse. They actually just Paul posted a status update talking about how they're just getting ready to really dive into sort of the last push to get that finished before they need to send it to the printer in the next few months. And then there's even more coming after that. So, they're not done on the tabletop. We're not done on the video game side. We're still really knee-deep in, content creation. Obviously, a couple of really major features, too, like multiplayer, which obviously is something that people really, really want. And then once multiplayer is really sort of working, that's when we can start focusing on some of these other features like, a stats readout for this final screen and some other kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Yeah, and the first version of multiplayer is going to be the same thing. It's going to be, it's going to be fun and good enough to play, but it's not going to be the final thing. We're going to keep improving it and keep adding stuff to it. So we're definitely we don't have the model of, put out a DVD and that's the game and it never changes.
Yeah.
We're more of an agile sort of process. So we got some questions going on. So if people have questions, they can ask them.
Yep.
Someone wants to know if they can ask a question, but they haven't asked it yet. So yes, you can ask a question.
So Real Fan of Fanatic. Dive in, man. So any updates on when the beta invitation opens up? So what that is asking about is the idea of us needing more beta testers, which is going to be happening probably pretty soon. I don't want to give you a specific date, but I'd say within the next couple of weeks probably we'll be opening it up. The beta testing process for multiplayer is going to be different than what it has been up to this point. Up to this point, it's, we have people working sort of testing the engine, but then also testing the game in the UI with what we call our beta testing team. But the multiplayer is going to have several phases. So just stay tuned, and we'll tell you more about that as they go. So.
Yeah. Fan of Fanatic asks, did they change the original environments? Yep. There's been some tweaks that have been made. Just like anything, we revisit stuff once in a while. And Jennifer's been making some adjustments to some of the original environments to make them look a little better.
Yep.
So that's something we sort of do on an ongoing basis, especially as Unity, the game engine we use, improves. We can re-render these environments and get some better lighting and stuff like that. So,
ooh, look at that! What do you think of that, guys? You can't really see it. There you go. Realm of Discord, looking pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty crazy. We'll be able to show that soon. The programming isn't ready for that yet.
Yeah, for those of you who are aware of how of what that environment can do, wow. There's definitely still some bug hunting to happen. Like there's a card that basically turns any ongoing or equipment card into a target with 6 HP, and that can really, if you've got a game with a lot of ongoings out, that can really be like, whew, what's going on there?
Yeah.
So I hear people talking about the RPG. Yes, it will be run at Gen Con, and that is pretty much all. Frankly, that's all we know, too. So unfortunately, we can't let slip any interesting information about it. We did know that it was going to be coming at Gen Con before the general public did, but aside from knowing that, we don't know anything about it. So
you could go to Realm Discord and show the card Imbued Vitality if you want.
Oops. Yeah, so here we have, this is the Realm of Discord deck, which is really a pretty fun. Actually, I really dig this deck. I've played it. I've been, bug tested it a couple of times. I usually don't get through an entire game without some kind of something, but I really do dig what this deck does. It's a fun deck to play in. Portal Fiend, negative energy field, imbued. This is the Imbued Vitality. Yeah, so you see.
Yep. The Wraith's invention.
Yeah, the Wraith's.
It's pretty funny.
Impromptu invention is got eyes. Craziness.
Hey, Maya, are we going to fight crime? We have to save Rook City. The flavor text is all there.
Oh, yes, and that's going in there. There was no music because we don't have music for that yet. John Mark is going to be working on that soon. Not yet.
Soon.
Very soon. It does look like something out of Q*bert. I was wondering what it was reminding me of. Thank you, Samwise. It totally was reminding me of something, and that is exactly right. Huh. All right. So
any other questions
if
from
there's
the
any
chat?
questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Or
if not, we'll sign off.
As long as we're still here, for anybody who didn't stop in right up front, I'm going to Atlanta next weekend, the weekend of the 28th through the 31st, for a conference called MomoCon, and it's going to be just me, all by my lonesome, running the Candelabra booth in the indie game section. So if you are in Atlanta, in or around Atlanta, and you would like to, A, help me out running the booth, and B, talk to people about Sentinels, and C, get a free ticket to come hang out at MomoCon, head to handelabra.com and check out the Calling All Sentinels post there, and submit yourself to be considered to be a volunteer. We're going to be... I have 3 additional badges that I'll be giving out over the course of the weekend for other people to come in. So, like, basically, when you're not helping me at the booth, you have a free ticket to go enjoy the conference. So, plus, I think we'll give you, like, free lunch, and there's a couple other things. You can read the post, and you can hear all about it. So, yes, Azure Shot says it would be super cool if there was a theme song for a full team. That would be cool. Until you realize that it really becomes... We actually did explore this idea that, like, oh, maybe each hero has their own instrument, and there's one song, and depending on the 5 heroes, you have 5 different instruments and whatever. The problem is that actually gets really unwieldy really fast in terms of connecting together and actually making it sound good. I'm sure Jean-Marc can pipe up about that as well.
Yeah. There's already tons of music that we make for the game, so there might be hero music down the line, maybe not in this game, maybe in a different game in the Sentinels universe in the future. You don't know.
You never know. All right, so I think that is going to do it for this evening. It's 9:15, shorter than last week. Last week was like 2.5 hours. But thanks again, everybody, for coming out. This will be up on YouTube probably early tomorrow morning. I guess that's it. Thanks a lot.
Good game. Down with the Matriarch.
Good game. Down with the Matriarch. Amen, brother. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.